This episode is brought to you by Craigslist. Craigslist is a website that everybody knows about, whether you're fucking 5 years old or 95 years old. I don't know how everybody knows about it. That you don't see ads on TV, you don't see ads on the computer, but somehow everyone knows what it is. Craigslist is a spot where you go to, sell your old iPhone or buy a laptop that is like a junk one. Or I guess some people use it for meeting the love of their lives. There is a men seeking women section. There's a woman seeking men section. They even support the LGBT fucking community. They got women seeking women, men seeking men. They got all of that. And sometimes people go on there and they'll just post something like, I met you at a mall. You had dark brown hair. You had gorgeous blue eyes. You looked at me but didn't notice who I was because you don't know who I am. And you're so sexy. Please give me a fucking shout. People do that. It's a real thing. And that's not what this episode is about. But now that I'm explaining how dumb it is, I wish it was. We're going to touch a little bit on that in one of these stories. But today's episode it's another bad sex stories episode. I've done like 2 or 3 of these and they always get good hits and I have a lot of fun telling them, and shit just always gets fucking worse, I think these are probably the worst ones and the most like you're gonna cringe at these because they are so gross. So maybe a fucking shout out to my nanny and my Aunt Roseanne. I don't know if this is gonna be the one for you, but for everybody else, all the youngins and all the people that for everybody who could talk about sex, my nanny, she could definitely hear it, but do you want to hear it? I don't know. That's what it is. And now I have a girlfriend, so I have to worry about her family. If you're one of my girlfriend's family members and you don't want to hear this shit, I get it. Don't support this episode. It's fine by me, All right, so before I talk about that, I hate that I have to do this, but I'm doing this because I like to keep shit real. I don't fucking sugarcoat. I don't hide things. I'm not going to tell you guys one thing and do another. You guys know that the Kendra podcast is coming. You know that you saw the picture of me and Kendra Lust together, and I hyped it up on my Instagram. I drove down to Michigan this past week, and I drove to Michigan to see Kendra Lust. And basically, I didn't end up seeing Kendra Lust. She was really stressed out this week. She had a lot of shit going on. She tried to make it work one night and then it couldn't work. So then she tried for the next day and she messaged me a long thing about how she feels so bad and that she's just so stressed out and has a lot on her plate. And that was it. We're all human beings. We all have bad days. We all have bad weeks. I've had plenty of weeks where I was supposed to do shit that I just laid off or I didn't want to do. Laid off? That's not what you say. I had plenty of shit I wanted to do that I just, whatever you would say there, picture that I said it. There's just times where, I don't want to do shit. I don't want to go to work. There's times where I didn't want to do this podcast and I didn't fucking do it. So it's unfortunate because I came out there expecting for one thing. I hyped you guys up and it didn't happen this week, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. We have a little deal right now. She's gonna compensate for the gas and the hotel and all that, and she felt really bad, and I'm very thankful. Regardless, I don't even give a fuck if she didn't pay $1 for anything. I would go right back out there next month, record it, and have no problem. This is part of all you young resellers out there, all you young people out there that are trying to do business. You get knocked down sometimes. A deal doesn't go your way. You lose money. Shit goes wrong. It doesn't mean, okay, I'm never doing the podcast again. All right, fuck this. I'm never doing it. It doesn't mean that. It just means, hey, fucking the universe doesn't think that you should be doing this right now. And it'll happen later. So what are you going to do? I wasn't even that mad. I was a little disappointed, but it's going to happen still, so I'm not sad about it. It sucks. It makes me more sad that not sad. It's not fucking sad. It makes me more shitty feeling that I have to tell you guys it's not coming yet because I hate to be that do one thing, say another. I hate that. Unfortunately, that's how I am sometimes, and I hate it about myself, and I'm working on it. Okay, so how's that for being wholesome? So even though she's not on the podcast, I still wanted to give you guys a sex-related podcast. I went on Reddit, and instead of asking you guys your sex stories, because sometimes you're not super open with them, I figured let's get some really fucking good ones. I went on Reddit, I went on Google, I looked up and got some screenshots, and we're going to have a hell of a fucking 30 minutes here. Then I'm going to be talking about the UNC Retro 1s. I do have them in hand now, and they match my nails perfectly, so if you're trying to be pleased aesthetically, then definitely turn on the video version. There was one more thing I want to talk about, but sometimes you just don't remember. So we're going to talk about sexual experiences that leave you feeling like this. Oh, the thing I was going to talk about before I get into all of this. My merchandise is live right now. If you go to angeloblando.com, it's literally, you go to the website and there's four fucking, like, there's my logo in the top corner, and then there's like my hoodies and my shirts, and then that's it. Like, you go there, you buy shit, you leave. There's not a lot there yet. I do plan on posting a lot of my Instagram. I think I'm gonna do not like a blog. I'm not turning into that guy, but I'm gonna do, like, every episode of the podcast that I post, I'm gonna do like a written form of kind of what it's about, like more than a description, but nowhere near as much as the episode. I don't know. Write shit during the week, or maybe on a Tuesday something goes good. Or like this past week, on Wednesday when the fucking Kendrick cancellation happened, I could have gone on my website and said, like, guys, holy fuck. I could have put the screenshot on there and been like, I'm sorry, she canceled on me, whatever. I could give you guys updates. Am I really going to do that? We don't know yet. But that's what I like to think. That's where my mindset is headed, okay? But yeah, if you want a fucking dope Kicks and Giggles hoodie, or one of the many black t-shirt options that I have, they're all slightly different. I did write like the material and shit on the website. You got some polyester, you got some ring spun, you got some 100% cotton. They're really, really fucking awesome. I put a lot into these financially and timely. What's that word? I put a lot into these fucking shirts, okay? So support it. All right, if you don't want to support it, then that's fine. Just know that if I ever see you in person, I'm gonna ignore you. Okay, so let's get out of these stories. So there's some stories that I've told on the podcast. We know about the bloody nose girl. We know about the girl that I hid from because I was nervous on the first Tinder date. We've talked about all that. One that I didn't think about, and you know, you might be thinking, Ange, you just said you had a girlfriend. My girlfriend's cool. She knows that I talk about shit like this on my podcast. So I mean, don't get triggered for other people. All right, it's all good. So there's two stories I'm going to share that are my personal experiences. I wrote these down within the past like 2 weeks. I'd thought of them, and then I was like, oh yeah, I got to write that down. And now I'm bringing them to the fucking episode. This was like, I don't even know, last year during the winter or some shit. No, it was like probably, was it last year? Last year or 2 years ago? I don't know. It happened during a time in my life, and that's all that matters. This girl came over. It was actually the same girl that had the bloody nose. So shout out to you. You know who you are. We had some great times, and we had some fucking bad times. And it was all fun because she was cool and she laughed about it all. And we would still laugh to this day if we were to talk about it. So this is not again, don't get triggered for other people. She's totally cool. I'm not even saying her name. And now the fact that I have to do this makes it weirder than it would have been. So she came over one night, and she had like, okay, we had a lot of sexual tension. We were very kinky together. We were fucking like, we wanted to just do whatever it was, you know? We wanted to just do shit. And it was because I am the kinky guy and she was the vanilla girl. That's kind of where a lot of the great relationships come from. That's how me and my girlfriend were. And still are, because we are not having sex until marriage, of course. I was into a lot of shit, and she hadn't really been there. So I was like, you want to go there? She was like, yeah. So we fucking go there. And it's great because they're learning with you, and because it's me, I'm like, I laugh a lot when I'm in bed, and like we make fun of each other, and it's not like some super serious, like, oh my God, what if I get embarrassed or whatever? Like something happens, I'll tell her, hey, don't do that because that's not hot. Or hey, if you don't want me to do something, I won't. We have a great, me and my girlfriend, it's fucking great. It's like the best it's ever been with anybody. But it was almost that same style of like, it was fun. She was willing to try shit. I was willing to try shit that she wanted, which was like fucking slap my ass. And I was like, okay, great. So we had that and it was fun. Now, one day she was like, the reason why I'm explaining that it was like fun like that we were fun with each other, is because I texted her once and she was like naked. It was like 2 a.m. or like 1 a.m. and she was naked in bed, and we were kind of starting to send nudes to each other. Sorry. So she goes like, I want to come over right now. I want to sneak out of my house and come over. And I was like, you fucking totally should. A lot of the girls that I realize, here's the other thing. A lot of the girls that are vanilla or like haven't had a lot of kinky experiences, part of the reason is because they have strict fucking parents. And for some reason, the 19, 20, 21-year-old girls that have parents that don't let them go out past 11 p.m. is like, that's what I end up falling in love with, or like talking to, or like having a ball with. I don't know why. But maybe it's because like I was the bad kid. Here's the reason why. I was like the reckless fucking bad boy in school, and I could never get the good girl, like clean fucking ACTs at fucking 38. I could never get that when I was young, and now it's like, yeah, I fucking can. And now I think that's where it, like, you got to have opposites, you know? And I think that's why me and my girlfriend work out great. Dude, okay, I'm not even going to talk about her. She's a genius. I'll talk about her a different episode. I'm losing fucking track. Okay, this girl texting me late at night, can't go out late at night because she has parents that are cunts, and they're mean sometimes when it comes to going out after 12. So she fucking sneaks out of her house and Snapchats me like, I don't know what to wear. I want to wear something sexy. And I was like, just surprise me. So she gets here and it's like 1 a.m., okay? And I'm fucking tired of shit because I like had gone to work or whatever. I think it was when I was working at Buckle. And she comes home, or she comes over, and she's wearing like a suit jacket, like her dad's suit jacket that's like huge on her. It's like a trench coat, and then green Crocs. And I was thinking like she's gonna come in lingerie or like something sexy, and I couldn't have been more like, what the fuck am I looking at, when I saw her in the lobby of my apartment. So I actually started laughing and she was laughing. So now she like gets upstairs and she's like, just wait. So then she takes it off and she's got like a sexy little tiny bra on, and then her panties, and that was it. So she had this big ass jacket that was clearly a cover up for something, and then it was like kind of hot underneath, right? And then the Crocs, I don't know why she did that, but she thought that would be hot, and I didn't. So sometimes you disagree on things. So she gets in my room, and we start going at it, and it was fun. It was great. Now, after that, she, we're like cuddling, and she's telling me like, I got to get home before, I don't know, 6 o'clock because she had school the next day or something like that. I don't fucking remember what it was. Well, I don't know. She had a hair appointment. She had something going on the next day at like 7:30 or 8. So now she is like laying there and we're cuddling, and I was like, how about we just nap and then we fucking set an alarm, right? That's a good idea. And she was like, no, I can't do that. Like, you fall asleep and like, we'll just chill. So now it's like 3 a.m. and I fucking knock out, right? Because I mean, you go for an hour and a half, 2 hours of like fucking around. I'm exhausted after that. Like, I'm done. Some people, I've told this before, some people want to like have a 20-minute sex thing and then they like go out and go to eat. No, for me, it's like we go for as long as we can, and then we're out cold, and that's fucking final, If we're going to do a quickie, sure, but that's not even fun. So she gets up. Oh, no, she's laying down, like cuddling me. I fall asleep, and now I wake up to like her like shaking me, and she's like, Ange, where are my keys? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, my car's towed. Oh my God. And I was like, what do you mean? And it's like 5:15 a.m. and her car. Oh no, wait, no. I'm actually fucking lying to you. I completely lied. Here's how I woke up. I got fucking 30 phone calls, and I answer the phone. There was 2 separate stories. I answer the phone, and she's freaking the fuck out, and she's like, Ange, my fucking car got towed. What are you doing? Like, I fell asleep in your bed. My parents are going to kill me. I'm waiting for an Uber right now. And what happened was, it was 5:15, same thing, but my apartment has like private parking that you could only park until like 1 a.m. and then you got to fucking get out until 6. And her car was there the whole time, which I didn't think of, but she woke up, her car got towed, so she was Ubering to the place that her car got towed. Meanwhile, she's in green Crocs, her dad's jacket, and literally has a bra and panties underneath, and she's freaking out. When I checked my phone, there was literally like 28 calls and like 100 texts. She just freaked the fuck out. And then that was like one of the last nights we ever hung out. It was still really funny. We laughed at it a lot. But for her, it wasn't really a bad sex experience for me. For her, man, that sucks. So I thought I would share that one. And I hope she I hope she doesn't think that that's bad. I mean, it wasn't bad for me. It was fucking great. Like, I thought it was funny and hilarious. But for her, yeah, it sucks. And I didn't think of it, but I never think I offered to pay. I'm sure I had to have, right? I'm sure I said, like, I could pay for this. But I didn't. So, sorry. If you're listening, sorry. You know, I should have offered for sure. And I'm not right now, but I should have. So, next story is, this one's not as bad. This was just, like, funny. I used to hook up with this really, really, really rich girl. And I had never been with, like, a super rich girl before. I had always been with, like, the middle class, which is cool because I was kind of more middle class. And like filthy rich was a thing that I hadn't even really experienced yet when I was like 17 or 18. This was in high school. And this we were seeing each other for a while. She was crazy about me. I was an asshole to her. Sometimes that's how it works. When you're mean to someone, they want you more, which like, I don't know. That's actually how me and my girlfriend met. There's going to be an episode eventually that's just all about my girlfriend and the story and the foundation and all of that. Like I said, I plan on having her on the show once, but we got to fucking make sure it's really serious before I get her on and all that. But it'll happen. I do plan on it happening, and I look forward to it. But so this girl's fucking filthy rich, and I'm at her house. She used to make me fucking pancakes and eggs and like bring me. We would have sex. And at like 1 a.m., I would be sleeping. She would like wake me up with like a sandwich and fruit. That was like, you could just tell it was like rich people fruit though. Like Whole Foods style fruit, which I fucking love. It was like that, but it was like cut up and like a very nice little fruit bowl. It was probably the nicest thing that anyone had done for me at that time. Way more than my girlfriends at the time. So she was really nice to me. I was kind of a piece of shit to her, but she really liked it. And then one day, her parents didn't know that I was there. This was another sketchy thing, but her house was so fucking big that you couldn't even tell that people were there. You wouldn't even be able to know, right? So I'm in her room and we're like fucking whatever. The next morning, I had to like go out I had to go through it was her room and then a bathroom and then her sister's room. I had to go through both doors and then go like downstairs. And meanwhile, I think her mom or her dad or her grandma, someone was like cooking downstairs. And she's texting me like, you have to get out, like sneak out, okay? And I was like, okay. So she goes downstairs and she's like distracting them. And now I'm like freaking the fuck out because I have to figure out how to get out of this fucking house. And meanwhile, I have like my fucking underwear, my shorts. I don't think I had a shirt on. My shirt was, yeah. I had my underwear and my shorts. The only reason I'm saying my underwear is because you could see them because my shorts were baggy. And I was holding my shoes because I didn't want to be quiet. And I was holding my hoodie and my shirt. So I'm shirtless and I have fucking shorts on. And I had to sneak out of this house, and then I leave, and I just fucking sprint out the front door. And her grandma heard, and she texted me like, holy fuck, like I had to make something up. Then a few days later, I get a picture, I think it was a picture, Or yeah, it was a picture, but it wasn't very clear. But you could see me like half naked running out of this girl's house, and she's like, "Yeah, my parents found out. I forgot we had fucking cameras on that door." So that's where you would play like the fucking the like a sad song, and you would picture me half naked, kind of just sitting in the fucking field, being very sad. So that happened. Now these stories that I'm about to tell, the ones that I had just told are funny and a little fucking unfortunate. These ones, some of them are really disgusting. The first one's fine. A good friend of mine who I sort of had feelings for and I were making out on his parents' velvet couch. Honestly, it was one of those I'm kind of high and this doesn't seem like a bad idea situations. We started going at it and he kept finishing. Like, no joke, he came 3 times in 5 minutes or less. It was so weird. He told me at the end that he was so glad I was his first time and he had been envisioning me taking his virginity for years. He knew I loved him and this was our perfect segue into finally being able to admit our feelings. I kind of just wanted to make out ... Also, he got cum all over the velvet couch. I knew a story about that, or a story like that. One of my really good friends, should I say her name? I guess not. One of my really good friends, a girlfriend of mine, she was fucking gorgeous. And we never hooked up. There was a lot of people that thought we hooked up, but we never did. I was really just in it because she was a great friend. And she was fucking hot, but she was very like, you could fuck her, a lot of people fucked her. She was like 30s, 40s number, but I can't deny she was a good looking chick. So, one guy in particular, I remember she told me a story that he was like sitting down and she got on top of him and he had like wanted her for so long. And she finally like gave it a chance, like, fuck it, I'll just hook up with him. I remember her telling me I got on top of him and like went up and down once to start riding him, and he pushed her off the couch and then came. Like fucking 10 seconds. I mean, that's like, sometimes you fantasize about a girl so much and you're just such a weird fuck about it that when that's never happened to me, thank God. And I don't know, man. I fantasize, but I don't, like, no, 2 seconds. Just be like, okay, if that happens to anybody listening, beat off before they come over. It's not really my cup of tea anymore. It used to be my thing, but yeah, dude, sometimes, especially like high school, fucking senior year, if I was gonna have my girlfriend over, well, I guess it was different because she was my girlfriend. If I was going to have like a hookup in junior year, I would just beat off like 2 times that day, and then she comes over and then you last like 45 minutes and then you're good. Rather than if you don't jerk off for a whole week, what the fuck are you expecting? You're going to come fast. It's part of being a human being. Unless when you have a girlfriend, you do get a lot more used to it, because when I have a girlfriend, I try to not jerk off a lot, especially if she's not fucking, or especially if she's here. Like, if I see my girlfriend every other day or every few days, you don't need to do all that. Don't be fucking weird. So, actually, this is the next story. My worst sex story might be pretty recent. My girlfriend of 6 months asked if I was interested in having a threesome after I mentioned I've never done it. He goes on to explain that they want to have a threesome and she agrees to it, right? So, the story, this is really long and I'm just going to sum it up. He explains that the girl that they agreed to have a threesome with was horrible at making out, and then the girl started making pig sounds and was making the most awkward sex sounds ever, and him and his girlfriend were looking at each other laughing while they were fucking her in while he was fucking her doggy style. And then he goes on to explain, like, we thought it was going to be a hot thing. We laughed it off and we agreed to never have a threesome again. That's funny. It's great that they were mature enough to like laugh it off, and like both, like I could imagine me and my girlfriend, I mean, not gonna happen because we haven't had sex until, we're not going to have sex until we get married, right? But if we were to have sex in a different life, and we did decide to somehow have a threesome, I know that if it wasn't good, me and her would look at each other and laugh, and we would be able to do that same thing. That's how you fucking know it's a real connection there. Yeah, so then he says, we both made this girl come, sort of like a tag team. Then we both had a bunch of laughs at the awkwardness of it all. She offered to have a threesome again, and I just said no. I think we're good, just us two. So that's pretty funny, right? Next story. This takes place back in her college years. He had his eyes... Okay, she's telling this story for her friend, I guess. He had his eyes on a girl for a while and decides to make a move during a party at our apartment. They go into his room and start making out. Apparently, his favorite brand of foreplay... Oh, her favorite brand of foreplay happens to be wildly aggressive dry humping. Things got out of hand. This is where you're going to want to fucking cover your ears for a second. Things get out of hand, and she dry humps him so hard that his zipper opens and catches his foreskin and rips it open. God. Obviously, no sex that night. We donate a great deal of booze to him to alleviate the pain and disappointment. Hearing that, like you're... Oh, my God. Dry humping is kind of hot. It's actually only hot when you're like both naked in bed and you're like spooning her and you're kind of like fucking moving around, getting a little wild. But if I have jeans on, dude, that sucks. Why? Also, if his jeans went down, how did it catch his penis? Well, I guess through the underwear. If he had like soft boxers on, that sucks. Fast forward 3 weeks later. Homeboy never goes to the doctor, and although things have healed, they've healed oddly and still ways to go. I hate this. This is gross. The dry humping enthusiast attends. One thing leads to another, and both end up in his room again. Things quickly progress beyond the clothed bucking bronco stage, and it looks like Mr. Wounded Soldier is about to score. Apparently, upon insertion... The wound is reopened and body fluids... Okay. You know what? Let's just skip this one. Okay. Yeah, so basically he starts bleeding like crazy, and then it's really gross, and now I want to pass out. So, that's that. God, that's really fucking disgusting. That sucks. Alright? That's by far the worst sex story I've ever heard, and I don't think it's going to get worse. But... This is to revisit the Craigslist thing I said earlier. This is a story, okay, that this guy's telling. It starts off by him saying, I wrote a missed connections post on Craigslist for a girl, just describing the girl I was looking for, although I'd already seen her. I was surprised it got a lot of replies. Now, before he tells this bad sex story or whatever, you are a fucking weirdo, okay? I've done weird shit, man. I've gone on a girl's Instagram. I've seen her fucking Snapchat in their bio, and then I've just added her, and I had no clue who they were, and I Snapchatted her a picture saying, hey, I think you're hot. That's pretty fucking weird to me, because it's like, you don't even know who this person is. Why are you hitting them up? That's weird. Now, going on Craigslist and posting a girl that you didn't even talk to, that you just saw in a mall, you just walked past each other. You go home, you go on Craigslist, and you describe her, and you try to find her, you're fucking weird, okay? You make me look like a saint, because that's fucked up. Anyways, he goes on to say, messaged with this one girl a lot. She sends a picture, she seems so cute. We meet up, have drinks, kept wondering if she was going to bring up the fake ad, and she didn't. We didn't really click, but we had a nice enough time chatting. We went and saw a movie. I asked her back to my place, sort of figuring she would say no. She said yes. In the bedroom, she was clearly bored and uninterested. Didn't want oral, like she didn't want him to give her head. I said we didn't have to have sex if she didn't want to, but she got on top of me and rode me for a while before she stopped and told me I was too big. It didn't feel good for me or her. I feel like he just said that. You know, I feel like he's just saying that to be like, I'm not that weird. I have a big dick, you know. Anyways, because that doesn't mean it doesn't play a part in this story. When we woke up, she was really sweet and obviously wanted me to buy her breakfast. I made her a bagel with cream cheese, which was all I could afford at the time. The whole time I was waiting for one of us to bring up the ad, but we didn't. I mean, fuck that. What about like the whole STD thing? What about like, I don't even know who this person is. What if they stab me? What about they might fucking have a pimp that's going to wait outside of my door and shoot me in the eye? Do you guys think about that? Does anybody think about that anymore? Or are we just such in a fucking animalistic spiraling fuck that we just need sex and we don't give a fuck what the consequences are? I mean, there's got to be a line, right? It's one thing if you're desperate and you're horny, but be desperate and horny with a line, you know? Can't relate to that one. In high school, I had sex with a girl that was like a fucking blob of jello. No reaction, no movement. She just laid there while I ate her out and mounted her and thrusted till I came. Uh, People talk so fucking weird, man. I asked what was wrong. She said nothing was. I later found out she was gay and wanted to try out a guy to see if there was anything there, and she told her friends it was disgusting. You know what? Good for her, though. Fucking soft round of applause. That probably sounds like I was just beating off, which I wasn't. Good for her. You know what? You don't know what you are yet sometimes. I've had times where I'm Snapchatting a girl nudes, and then a gay guy Snapchats me, and then I was like, maybe I should fucking send him nudes. You have these experiences, which is like, I know that they're weird, but everybody's got a way of telling what you're into, and everybody's got a little experimental phase. You met a girl gets drunk and makes out with her friend. A guy sends nudes to another guy just to see how it goes. I've done kind of shit like that. I haven't done anything too extreme, but I've definitely like played around in the field of being gay, and I kind of walked my ass back to the other field. And that's kind of how it went. So you got to figure it out, and good for her for really going all in. Like, I never thought like I want to go fuck a guy. Like that's not in my toolbox. But for her, she didn't know, and she did go and try it. Even though she was attracted to women, she went and tried a man just to see what she thought she was into, and that takes a lot of balls. So good for her. Fucking strong female. Fucking hashtag girl power. Okay? Actually, you know what's weird that I just said that? The girl that had the whole Croc dad's jacket thing has girl power. Well, I guess now people might know who she is. Has girl power tattooed somewhere on her. And that's kind of weird. All right, this one. I got drunk and hooked up with a girl on an air mattress. This one's just pretty funny. Hooked up with a girl on an air mattress inside of my best friend's house. Sex on an air mattress set off my motion sickness. I stumbled out of bed searching for a bathroom, didn't quite make it. My best friend found me butt naked, squatting in the highway, surrounded by vomit. Highway. I meant the hallway. But that's something I would do. I can't do air mattresses. Nope. Cars. Nope. Fuck in a bed. Fuck in a bed. Otherwise, don't have sex that night. That's how it is. You want to fuck in the car? No. No, we'll wait. Let's go home. Oh, you can't come over? Okay, we'll do it a different time. We don't have to do it in my car. We don't have to do it on an air mattress. I do like to have fun times. I've done it in the kitchen. I've done it outside. But do it when it's fun. Car sex is not fun. Fucking air mattress sex, I'd imagine, is a nightmare. And if anything, at that point, just go on the floor. Like, fucking air mattress. That's your fault. We had a couple more here. I've had a time where my lady and I were younger. We were living with our parents and didn't want them to know we were doing it in our room. I had always had good hearing to know when he was showing up on his motorcycle until one day he took his caravan out with his GF. Caravan? As soon as we finished, I was butt-ass naked and he came in the room pissed. Okay, like, why did I read this one? Why do I have this one? Okay, he walked in on you naked and he got mad. He also says, luckily he didn't have a gun, but man, that was embarrassing. Yeah, but we've all done that one. You know, that's not a good one. I shouldn't have read that. I'm sorry. Here's the last one. This one's mean, but you know what? Fuck it. I got with this unattractive, huge, fat girl I met. That's how he reads it. It's not how I'm reading it. I met off Tinder, who is just completely dull as fuck. I had a full hard on before we did anything sexual, and once it started, I noticed her bad breath. Oh God. But where I started to get turned off, she kept telling me things to do or how to do this and that, which was like a complete turn off for me and made my dick go limp. Eventually she started giving me head to bring it back and then started telling me what to do again, and my dick went limp again, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done. Awkward driving her home, and I dropped her off and then blocked her. I learned a life lesson not to take out a girl I'm not attracted to because I have no issues staying hard with other girls I'm attracted to. I think that the problem is that you fucking... I mean, first of all, you're clearly a fat shamer, and you can't do that. Like, I'm cool with chubby girls. I'm actually kind of for them in a good way. Like, it's almost like I prefer my girl to have some fucking thick thighs or have a nice little... My girlfriend now is fucking beautiful, and she's very skinny. But I always tell her, if you gain 20 pounds, I'm going to be even more in, because I fucking love that. Which is the good thing about dating a guy that isn't a fat-shaming asshole. But this guy, the fact that he says, like, with this unattractive, huge fat girl, it's like, you're clearly not into her. So, yeah, obviously you're not going to get into it. Also, bad breath, you shouldn't have kept going. You shouldn't have ripped that one off. If a girl has bad breath, I would just straight up tell her, hey, you smell like shit right now, and it can be fixed because there's gum, there's mints, there's fruity Altoids that are discontinued, but you could order them. Yeah, I mean, this is your fault. And the other thing is, I've had plenty of experience with a girl that talks a lot when we're hooking up or when we're like doing things. She'll just be like giving me head, right? And then she'll like come up and then she'll just tell me a story. She'll be like, by the way, did I ever tell you that my mom said that you're like really a nice guy? And I'll be like, okay, we're not doing that right now. Let's do what we're going to do now, and then we could talk all night long. And if you don't know who I'm referring to, the person that I'm referring to knows. But, yeah, so, you know what? There's some people that they want to just tell stories during sex, and you get used to it, you laugh about it. Sometimes it does cause you to go dull or go soft on them, but that's where you draw the line. You know, like sometimes, okay, you know what? I'm just going to... Me and my girlfriend, when we were first hooking up like last year, she would always do that. We would be like making out or like just about to get it on. Things would be getting hot. And then she would be like, just start to tell me a story. And I'd be like, please, just don't, let's talk about sexual stuff. But like, how can I think about it from my point of view. How can I get horny and stay hard? And then you be like, my grandma died that last week. Did I tell you that? And then expect me to stay hard. Like, let's separate story time from sex time, okay? That's all. So that's it. But you know what? I mean, I have fun with it, and it's fine by me. Clearly, this guy wouldn't have fucking stood for that. So that's that. There's a few good stories. The fucking zipper one scarred me for life. That one's disgusting. I don't even want to wear jeans anymore after that shit. But now I want to do a quick little merch thing. I'm going to show you guys my merch website. This is angeloblando.com. I'm not going to promote this all the time. I'm only doing it on this episode because I just dropped it. But see, you fucking click the hoodie, and then you go to the description. You pick your size. There's not a lot left. There's not a lot made. I've already sold like, I don't know, 10, and I only made like 100 to begin with, and 20 of them got fucking burned from this company. It was a lot that I went through, but there's like 80 up on the website, and let's hope that they fucking start moving. And if they do start moving, eventually, once I do a big-ass order, then I'm going to start doing, like, if you order a pair of shoes, you get a free shirt. Or I'm sure I'll do a giveaway this week. I'll just fucking give one or two of them away. But yeah, angeloblando.com. You'll see everything there. Eventually, I'll start posting more shit. If you guys have any ideas of cool shit that you want on the website, like maybe you don't give a fuck to hear about my podcast. Maybe you want to see some extra pictures that are not on Instagram of me and Dalia, or me and a fucking, like the behind the scenes stuff of the celebrity meetups that I do. I don't know. Let me know, because I'm open to it. I'm open to fucking whatever. I'm going to do a quick in-hand thing here, and I'm noticing that it's 12:50 and I need to get to work soon. So I'm only going to do one shoe for you, and that's all you get sometimes. These are the UNC ones. These are super new. I don't know if they're going by UNC or Obsidian or whatever the fuck. It's not the UNC that's just white and UNC blue. These have a hint of UNC blue on the heel, and then the rest of the shoe is just like your regular black toe, but instead of white and black, it's white and navy blue. Nike Air Sign's got that same thing, the UNC blue with a navy background. The soles are super dope on the inside. And then that's it. The soles are also navy blue. I really, really wish that these were blue and black. Exactly like my nails. If this was blue and this part was black, it would just look a little bit better for me. I'm not a navy blue guy, so I can't get into these. But I do recommend, if you're somebody that wants to sit on a shoe for a year or 8 months at least, I think that this shoe, if you could grab them in a 9, a 9.5, a fucking 8.5, maybe even a 10, like 10 or under, basically. If you could get your hands on these for a solid price, the closest to retail, if you could get $250, $300, or less even. I don't know what the market is, but I would recommend buying these if you're someone that wants to sit on shoes for a while, because I do think that these will go up in price. And that's fucking it. That's it. Next week, there was something I had to I was going to mention something about next week's episode, but I don't remember it. So you'll have to see next week. But thank you guys for listening. I love you all. And don't dry hump when you have jeans on.